play.
I'm offended. It's like, okay, conversation over.
Bible senses Freemasons. Ask yourself, is it flat or does it look something like something else? If we're going to get here this globe, and we're going to throw it down there, and we're going to kick it away. There it is. Bye, guys.
It's flat.
It's not an easy
This
question,
shit.
is it?
All this shit here.
No.
Not conspiracy theories, they're real.
You're still asleep. Wake up!
And all power and glory goes to Christ.
All right, just a bit of an update on the whole social progression cesspit that is Australia. So we've just got through Christmas. Thank goodness that's gone for another year. People now, I hope you feel good. I hope you feel great. I hope you enjoy those extra 3 or 4 kilos you put on, that extra debt now you've got on your credit card, and all those presents you gave people that they don't appreciate, and all the fights you had over Christmas. I hope you feel good. Anyway, since Christmas, quite a bit's been happening here in Australia. The social progression thing here is at fever pitch. It seems social progression does not get a Christmas break. So, and just to sort of touch base with social progression, political correctness, all that, it's to take you away from God. It's to bring you back into the earth. It's to erode creation. And it's basically to ensure that you don't have a journey with Christ, to divide the masses, and just to create these points of division that just don't exist. Ground zero really here in Australia. And before I say this, because I love my subscribers, and I love the fact I've got 33 of you. I lost one overnight. That's okay. I love the fact I've got 33 subscribers. So I will just preface this by saying this is not in any way hate speech towards women. No. I don't hate women. I love women. I love all people. Some of my best friends over the years have been women. And I think most women with fair minds would look at what's going on in Australia now and just roll their eyes and go, what on earth is all this? But the fact I have to say that and feel the need I have to say that is just social progression in full cry. So here in Australia, so after Christmas, so I remember on Christmas Eve, I think it was, they had on that sunrise show, which is just bright orange every day, and orange is the only colour that equates to 33 in their numerology. And it's decked out in orange. You see it there today. The lady there, she's dressed in orange. I saw one of the reporters. She's dressed in orange. The whole set's orange. The whole thing behind him's orange, but I'm sure it's just because it's sunrise and everything's orange at sunrise. I'm sure it's that, and that's why it's never been like that over the last 30 years. But anyway, just before Christmas there, I was saying, dig deep this Christmas and give to your favourite charity, and they gave all their best charities and all that. And charities are just a front. They're just a front for social progression and the agendas that they're pushing, and all the proceeds just go to Israel, and you're not helping anyone. Now, I was just in there. I was just in there before. No, this was the other day. This is where the women's thing's really starting to come in now. They had the Liberal Party here in Australia, the right wing party. They're complaining that they haven't got enough women in federal parliament. And everybody there, they had a panel of about 6 people there, and they're all, yes, it is a problem. All agreeing that we have to have more people in parliament simply because they're women. I don't hear any discussion ever about having more men get custody of their kids when women kick them out. That's because women are naturally mothers. Women naturally stay at home and look after their children after they give birth, and the man goes to work. That's the realm we live in. That's the paradigm we live in. That's the paradigm they've set out for us, and it's fact. So the fact that there's less women in anything is gonna happen. It's natural. And if women go into the workplace and they're good enough, they will reach the top. And still to this day, nobody can give me one example of where a woman has been paid less than a man simply because they're a woman. Why? It's because it doesn't exist. It's a psyop, and it's there just to create division. It's there for a lot of reasons. The other thing that's going on right now is the Sydney Test match, the Sydney Cricket Test match. Cricket traditionally is a traditional game. You can't touch the traditions of cricket, but they're changing cricket now constantly in the name of social progression. Reverse swing, drop in pitches. They're now in the interest of social progression, manifesting that it's cheaper thrills. You get quicker outcomes. You get more things happening in Test cricket. The Test cricket's also gone to Channel 7. Channel 7's very left wing, very hip, very directed at the young people, and the young people come out of the schools brainwashed, thinking everything's easy, everything's now, they're entitled to everything, and they don't have to work hard for everything, which goes against the paradigm we live in. But I believe this comes back to AI and end of days, but that's a different video. Yeah, in this Sydney Test, everything's pink. Everything's pink. The bails, the stumps, the signage, everything. There's now at least 2-3 commentators now on the cricket that are women, in a man's sport. I was talking to someone the other day about cricket, and they asked me about the women's game, and I said I don't like it, and they called me a sexist. And I'm like, I'm not a sexist because I don't like women's cricket. They market it as women's cricket. I like cricket, but I don't like women's cricket. I don't like gridiron. Men play gridiron. I don't like gridiron. That doesn't make me a sexist because I don't like gridiron. It's a weaker sport, and I know what the agenda is, so I don't like it and I don't participate in it. But they're doing it in the name of breast cancer, of course, for women. There's nothing for men. We used to have one thing here for men, but it was called Movember. All the dudes would grow their mows during November, and they'd get donations in the audit. But I haven't heard Movember now being mentioned in about 2 or 3 years. It's gone by the wayside. Why? It's because it's not about women. And I'll get to why they're doing this with women in a sec. But the Sydney Test, it's all pink. It's decked out in pink, and it's all in the name of Glenn McGrath's late wife, Jane McGrath. Somehow we've got to all put our sympathy pants on for Glenn McGrath and Jane McGrath and donate a week after Christmas to a women's charity yet again. There'll be another women's charity next week. At least this one, it's not at the expense of men. But again, it's divisive. It's divisive. Glenn McGrath, I'm very, very suspect on him. Here in Australia, you can basically say what you want about who you want generally, unless the media say it's not okay. A couple of people like that are Don Bradman. You can never speak ill of Don Bradman. He's a Freemason, and I'm very, very suspect on Glenn McGrath. Very suspect. He's coming across as a Freemason more and more by the day. Whether he was when he was playing or not, I don't think so. I think they've got to him later, but it's becoming clearly apparent to me that Glenn McGrath is a Freemason. Now, why are they doing this? To me, there's a few reasons, and they're pretty simple. One, it's to cause division that's not there. They do it with race. There's another thing going on here in Australia where there's a Senator, Fraser Annan. I'll get to him in another video. He's been condemned for going to far right protest. Far right, of course, is anything that doesn't agree with social progression, and they're being labelled as Nazis. These people, and we know, people that know my channel and that are awake, we know that Nazis are not anything near what they're portrayed to be. But anybody who speaks out against social progression is labelled a Nazi. He's labelled a right wing nut job, and I'm sure there's people out there who think I am now for calling a spade a spade. So. It's to create division within the community. It's to erode creation. It's to erode God. It's to erode nature. It's to erode anybody walking closer with Christ. It's the Jezebel spirit. It all comes back to Eve sinning in the garden. And you look at the Catholic Church, and who do they worship? Mary. They worship Mary, not Christ. You see the Pope all the time kissing Mary. And who's the Pope? The Pope is basically the symbology of their God, who is Lucifer. So that's what's happening here in Australia right now. It's a cesspit. I'm just so thankful that Christ has given me eyes to see and ears to hear. And I will just keep giving my views. I don't think I'll ever get a job again the way I'm going. I don't just walk into workplaces and talk like this, but people have conversations, and I might just say one word and it disagrees with social progression, and you're out the door. You're gone. So that's Australia right now. It's a cesspit. But again, I'm really, really glad that Christ has given me these eyes to see and these ears to hear in these last days, and all glory goes to Jesus Christ.